Hi everyone, welcome back to Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. In today's video, I'm going to be asking for your help to complete my February TBR. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name's Alice and I have way too many books. And in the interest of getting through those way too many books, I am trying to stick to reading from my shelves in the month of February as much as possible. Now, February is traditionally a month on Booktube where I don't really participate in any readathons, but I thought to myself I would actually like to add in a much more random element this month. And one of my favourite prompts for the Past and Future Readathon in January was Book Buddy, have a buddy pick your book. So I'm going to go with that theme in the month of February, and I have already asked several of my Booktube friends and my mum and my husband to choose me books. I may also be asking my cat to choose me a book. We'll see if that's possible. I also wanted to ask you, the viewers, what you think. And to get the ball rolling on this, I ran a poll the other day. I asked you if you would like to see me pick a book from my 24 for 24 for you to vote on, books from my TBR tin, which is full of all my oldest books. You didn't want to do either of those two things. By far the most voted for option was a wild card from the shelves. So I thought, how can I make it as wild card as possible? So what I'm going to be asking you to do today is, from the books that I select, I'd love you to tell me in the comments which one you think I should read. You don't have to tell me why, but I would love it if you did. And the one with the most votes will be the one that I read in February. So stay tuned and make sure to comment at the end of the video if you'd like to have a say. But first of all, it would be a good idea to introduce some really random wildcard chants. So I came up with some prompts. I came up with 12 prompts that would fit random books on the TBR, and I thought I would draw myself out 4 of these and see which books we can find that match them. The prompts are as follows. I've got one that says animal on the cover, person on the cover, a colour wheel pick, so that would add another random element. I would spin a colour wheel. We have a number generator where I could put in a range and see which book we get to by counting along the shelves. I have not on the TBR shelf. All down here is my TBR shelves. There are some books that are not on that shelf. So my Dick Francis books are not on this shelf. Any books that have been on recent TBRs or acquired recently are on my TBR trolley. And I have a few books by authors who I own some of their books over on other shelves, and some non-fiction on other shelves. Most of my TBR is on these shelves. Some of it isn't, so I thought I would pick a wild card from one of the shelves that are not here, if I get that prompt. Short stories was another prompt. A genre not in the 24 for 24. The book that I've had for the longest, because I keep trying to read the books I've had for the longest. An author I own more than one book of. The shortest book. A book with my initial in the title. Or book in a series. So those are my 12 options. So the prompts are all folded. I'm putting them into my Persephone books bag, and I'm going to draw out some of them and see what we can find on the shelves. So the first one out of the bag is animal on the cover. Let me see what we can find on the shelves with an animal on the cover. So the option I'm going to pick for this has 2 animals on the cover. A hummingbird and a salamander, and that's Hummingbird Salamander by Vanderneer. So to tell you a little bit about this one, the blurb says, Jane Smith receives an unexplained envelope containing the key to a storage unit, and inside that storage unit is a taxidermy hummingbird and directions to a taxidermy salamander. Somehow this bizarre treasure hunt that Jane never expected or asked for sets in motion a series of events that quickly puts her and her family in danger. As she desperately seeks answers, she discovers time is running out for her and possibly the world. I've read Jeff Vanderneer before. I read his Annihilation trilogy, and that was so unnerving. Probably the most unnerving books I've ever read. I have been longing to get to this. It has a stunning cover. Please do vote for this if you would like to see me read it in February. Second prompt out of the bag is author I own more than one book. There's quite a few of those, so let's see what we come to first. On my top shelf, my very first book that I can see that I own more than one book by the author is Nicci French, What to Do When Someone Dies. And this one says on the blurb, Ellie Faulkner's world has been destroyed. Her husband Greg died in a car crash and he wasn't alone. In the passenger seat was the body of Nelena Livingstone, a woman Ellie's never even heard of. But Ellie refuses to leap to the obvious conclusion, despite the whispers and suspicions of those around her. Maybe it's the grief, but Ellie has to find out who this woman was and must prove Greg wasn't having an affair. And soon she is chillingly certain their deaths were no accident. Are Ellie's accusations of murder her way of avoiding the truth about her marriage, or does an even more sinister discovery await her? So as you all know, if you've been watching my channel for a while, I love Nicci French. They're a husband-wife writing team, and I only have, I think, about 4 of their books left to read. So I would really, really love to get to this one, but I will let you comment down below if you would like me to read this one. Let's go into the bag again. And we have pulled out Not on the TBR Shelf. So I'm going to go onto the TBR trolley for this one because I already have a couple of non-fiction on my TBR that other people have picked. So I don't want to go to my non-fiction shelf. So let's have a look on my TBR trolley, and I think I'm going to pick a book from my Crime Syndicate subscription because I've still got to get to quite a few of those. And I'm going to go with City on Fire by Don Winslow because I've had this one the longest. The blurb says, 2 criminal empires together control all of New England until a beautiful woman comes between the Irish and the Italians, launching a war that will see them kill each other, destroy an alliance and set a city on fire. Danny Ryan yearns for a more legit life and a place in the sun, but as the bloody conflict stacks body on body and brother turns against brother, Danny has to rise above himself. To save the friends he loves like family, and the family he has sworn to protect, he becomes a leader, a ruthless strategist and a master of a treacherous game in which the winners live and the losers die. From the gritty streets of Providence to the glittering screens of Hollywood to the golden casinos of Las Vegas, 2 rival crime families ignite a war that will leave only one standing. The winner will forge a dynasty. So, this one I have actually heard is a modern retelling or modern take on the Iliad. So I can sort of see themes from the Iliad in that blurb, but I don't know much else about it. This was very popular a couple of years ago and I would really like to get to it as well. So do comment below if you would like City on Fire to be your choice. So we're going to go into the bag one more time and see what we get. And we got Colour Wheel, so even more elements of random added. So let's spin, and I got purple. Let's see what we've got in purple. I'm going to start at the bottom this time because I started at the top for one of the other prompts. No purple books on the bottom shelf. No purple books on here. The Kathy Rensenbrink looks a little bit purple, but it's blue. As it turns out, I only have one purple book on my shelf, and it's Black Beauty by Anna Sewell. I didn't get to this on my 23 classics for 2023 last year. I've heard it's meant to be very, very sad, but this is a classic and I would like to read it. And it doesn't really have much of a blurb on this particular edition. It just says, come with beauty on the journey of a lifetime. There's hardship and friendship, kindness and cruelty, but above all else, love. This is the greatest horse story ever told on the front. If you love Black Beauty or you would like me to read this in the month of February, do let me know in the comments down below. So the options are, and I would love you to say the name of the one you want in the comments. If you haven't got time for that, I will tell you an emoji for each one as well. So if you'd like to vote for Hummingbird, Salamander, either comment the title or leave me a bird emoji. If you'd like to vote for what to do when someone dies, leave me the grave emoji or the skull emoji maybe, or just leave me the name of the book. If you'd like to vote for City on Fire, either leave the title or leave me a fire emoji. And if you'd like to vote for Black Beauty, leave me a horse emoji or the name of the book. So I will be totting up all of the emojis and titles in 5 days' time from this video coming out. That's all for today. I would love it if you would vote if you would like to help me with my TBR for February. I will be back with a TBR video featuring all of the books that other people have chosen for me soon. If you have enjoyed this video today, please do give it a like. Please do consider subscribing if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, thanks for voting, and I will hope very much to see you all again soon for another video all about books here on Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. Bye for now.